Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Boss Labs. Today I'm here at my apartment because I have some deadlines due for some work and it's been snowing outside, and recently I got in a small accident, so I just kind of been laying low, figured I'd shoot something here at the apartment and I'd get back to work. So today it's going to be a really quick video and I'm going to be talking about some of the problems and issues I've been having with my AirPods Max here, but I figured I'd go on and talk about some of the other issues I've had with some of the other Apple audio music listening devices, or some of their audio issues that I've had with these other devices like my AirPods Pro or my HomePods, things like that. This is by no means like a bashing video. Some are small, some are kind of things to worry about. Some things might be, only happening to me. But anyways, let's get started with the AirPods Max here that I have. So I've had these for about 2 months now and they're great. I love them. If you watch my review from a few weeks ago, I think 2 months ago or so, right when I had gotten them, I still stand by pretty much everything I said on that video. They are great. They sound fantastic. They also just work with everything in the Apple ecosystem, right? And if you're using them to watch content on your iPhone or on your iPad using spatial audio, these things are just kind of a no-brainer for me. That being said, I've got 2 issues with them. Some I'm sure if you are watching this video, you might have read about, and one of them was the condensation forming inside the ear cup area between the ear cup and the actual headphone. And that's happened to me once, and not a big issue for me because I was shoveling snow outside for about an hour. So my head and my body was creating heat. The headphones were cold to the touch. So that kind of just seemed natural. Is it going to be an issue later on? I'm not sure. I live in New York City. I'm rarely kind of walking about as much in the winter, but we'll see what happens. Not an issue, nothing happened, didn't notice anything. Just checked them when I got inside, noticed that there was a little bit of condensation forming inside the headphone. The other one is something I worry about a little bit more, and at the beginning I thought it was just me, and then I started seeing some articles pop up, and that is the headphones discharging by themselves. Whether they're in the case or outside, these headphones could have like 50, 60, even 90% charge, and then I put them in the case or I leave them overnight. I'm not using anything, I'm sleeping. My phone is charging, my computers are off, and the next day I will realize that these headphones suddenly give me a like 9% like battery indicator. So that means they were either connected or they were just draining overnight. So that's kind of potentially a big issue. So nowadays, 2020, early 2021, I haven't been going out as much and stuff. We're not traveling around the city. I kind of just go to my studio and back. But I could see this being an issue because usually I have time to charge them, right? If I notice it, I charge them, I'm on my way. But just last week, I was going to my studio. I got an Uber because it was snowing outside, and these headphones were dead. I got in the cab and I opened my bag, put them on, and I realized I couldn't use them, right? So that could be a big issue. I hope they update it via firmware or something just to kind of fix that, because outside of that, these things are fantastic. I just see that maybe happening more times in the future, especially as we start kind of traveling and doing all the normal stuff again. That might be a big issue. Currently, not huge, but kind of is a little bit of a pet peeve because it just shouldn't be happening. So because of that, when I was in the cab, I decided to use the AirPods Pro. So these are just a lifesaver, right? These, I go wherever I go, they kind of just do whatever I need them to do, right? Whether I'm riding my bicycle or traveling on one of my electric rideables, these are the ones that are going with me because they fit with helmets. They kind of just fit in your pocket. They're the ones I use for phone calls, all that stuff, right? So these are the lifesaver of the headphone line that Apple has. These are the AirPods Pro, and the issues I've had with these are not necessarily anything typical. They fit perfectly fine in my ear. The main thing I have with these is I've had an issue where it's already happened to both sides. One of the earpieces starts kind of making a popping sound, and I believe this is a known issue because I think they have some sort of repair or replacement program already. But you hear this kind of popping sound, like it's hard to describe. It's just annoying, and it's only on when the AirPods are using any sort of microphone feature. So if you're using the transparency mode or the noise cancellation mode, right? It's using the microphone to actively either noise cancel or to let the audio pass through. So you start hearing this popping sound and it becomes unusable at that point. So you kind of just have to turn the features off, and then you're left without the features that I guess make the AirPods Pro, except for the better sound quality. So This happened to my right side AirPod Pro about 6 months ago, and it happened to my left side about a week ago. Luckily, I have Apple Care with these, and they kind of just send you a replacement. They put a hold on your account for like $100, and then you send the other one back, and that's basically it. But if you don't, you might have to deal with a repair program, and you might have to wait longer, and that's just a little bit annoying. So something to look out. If you've had this problem, let me know, because it seems more common than not. I got these on release, so this was November 2019. I had lost my AirPods 2 in a cab one night, so I picked these up, but these are absolutely the best thing ever. They're in my pocket all day, along with my phone and my wallet. These go with me everywhere. So next, let's talk about the HomePod, and I have one of them here. This is the original kind of HomePod, big guy. Came out, what, 2-3 years ago? So these are fantastic. I love the way they sound. They just integrate with everything Apple, which is where I'm at. And they're just small, sleek, they get the job done. My use for home speakers like this is primarily music and podcasts, things like that. So I'm not looking for an assistant. I do use them to control the lights that I have back here. I use them to set alarms, timers, basic stuff, but nothing too kind of, digital assistant intensive. They're for music first, and they do that very well. One issue I did have with the HomePod was the very first one that I bought, right before it got to a 1-year mark, it just died on me. It crapped out. I started getting this red light above, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't restart it. So luckily I took it into the Apple store, and since it was still under the 1 year, I didn't have Apple Care on it. They replaced it, kind of very few questions asked, and I was on my way. I have 4 of these in total. I have 2 other ones here at my apartment, and I have 1 in my studio, and none of them have given me any other issues besides that, but that's still something that makes me worry, right? If it happened once, it could happen again, and that is something to think about, right? This is a first gen product, and yeah, but that's the only issue I've had with my HomePod, normal, regular size HomePod. So now we'll move on to the HomePod Minis, and these, honestly, I don't know if it's the fact they're so new. I mean, these are new and I've had issues with them. I've had 0 issues with the HomePod Mini. They sound great for the size, and they're compact. I have 2 of them here at the apartment, 1 of them in the studio. They work with everything else. They sync up perfectly. And I so far have had 0 issues with my HomePod Mini, which is funny because it's probably the lowest on the list as far as my favorite items that they have here in this kind of music listening audio ecosystem. But it's the one that hasn't given me a problem. They connect easy, they work, they sound great. And I use them kind of as a filler to wherever my regular HomePods are, or in areas where a regular HomePod just doesn't fit. Like I have a HomePod here right in front of me on this desk, but right by my iMac, I have a HomePod Mini. And it just kind of adds this nice kind of fill to the room when I'm listening to music. And I think that's what it comes down to, right at the end of the day. These are some issues that I've had personally, but these devices have just kind of kept me going personally over the last year. We've been spending a lot of time indoors and been hanging out. So these devices either help me listen to music or listen to TED Talks and get motivated to keep doing what I'm doing, keep creating, or it just helps fill the room, fill the apartment with music. And I've yet to meet someone who doesn't like listening to something, right? So just kind of getting us out of this funk of being indoors when the room, when the apartment, when the home gets too quiet and we're left with just, I don't know, something besides happy thoughts, which tends to happen. These fill the room, these fill the air, and I think that's what it comes down to it. Add on top of that these all work in that ecosystem with your phone, with your tablet, with your Macs, with your Apple TV. My 2 HomePods in the living room are connected so that I can use them as my speakers for my TV. It just makes it so much easier, right? I'm not just saying that these are listening devices. Any headphone can make you listen to music. Any headphone can let that art, that creation into your ears. But these all work with the other products that I have. So yeah, those are some issues I've had with these products. Nothing that has broken the deal for me, nothing that makes me wanna steer away and look for something else because of that ecosystem, because that they work well with everything around them. So yeah, if you have any comments or questions, please leave that down in the comment section below. And if you've had experiences with some of these like I have, let us know. I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, hopefully this video was helpful in some way, shape, or form, and we'll see you next week. Peace.